Good afternoon, everybody. Bill O'Leary here, coming to you live as part of our Thirsty Thursday series. Is where I go live every Thursday, talk about a topic that I see in my law practice: estate planning, elder law, probate, that sort of thing. Something that maybe I've come across, somebody's asked me about, or just something I'm interested in. So if you're thirsting for knowledge and for information and guidance, you've come to the right place. So what I want to talk about today here for this Thirsty Thursday installments deals with inherited retirement accounts and minimizing the tax consequences that come with them. So a new law went into effect called the Secure Act, went into effect in 2021. And that law changed fairly substantially how beneficiaries of inherited retirement accounts have to withdraw the money from the inherited account. The new law, frankly, made it more difficult for individuals to pass their retirement savings on to their heirs in a tax efficient way. Beneficiaries of things like 401ks and IRAs, they are subject to required minimum distributions called RMDs, and they're subject to those RMD rules. Under this new law, most beneficiaries, most who inherit retirement accounts, have to withdraw the funds from the inherited account within 10 years. There's a 10-year payout period. Now, some beneficiaries, a minority of beneficiaries, can take it out over more than 10 years. In fact, they can take out distributions over the remaining lifetime. These beneficiaries are spouse, minor children, people with disabilities or chronic illnesses, and beneficiaries who are less than or not more than 10 years younger than the original account owner. But for the vast majority of beneficiaries, a 10-year payout rule applies. Now, of course, a beneficiary is always free to take money out in a lump sum in the first year if they want to, but a lot of times that's not the smartest thing to do from a tax standpoint, because you're bunching all of that income into one tax year. Now, let me go back to that 10-year payout rule that applies to most beneficiaries. And just a little history. Before this new rule came out, again, about 4 years ago, a beneficiary had the option of withdrawing a small amount from an inherited retirement account each year. And you could then leave the rest in the account to continue to grow for as long as you lived. And that future growth would be tax deferred. This was called the stretch, because a beneficiary could stretch out the required distributions over the rest of their life expectancy. And not only could you stretch out the distributions over potentially a longer period of time, but that also meant you could stretch out the tax payments that would be due on those distributions over a longer period of time. So push out the tax payments into future tax years. A great thing from a tax standpoint. Well, that stretch has gone away for most beneficiaries. And now the new 10-year payout rule means the money in the inherited account, it's less likely to remain in the account for the next generation of heirs. So that old rule of being able to stretch out distributions over a long period of time also meant less tax revenue each year coming into the government coffers. The new 10-year payout rule means beneficiaries are going to have to pay the tax over a shorter period of time. And so you think about it, this new law, basically, it's a revenue raiser for the government. Now, a lot of times a beneficiary who inherits a retirement account, that beneficiary, let's say, is an adult child, might be in their peak earning years, and being forced to take out required distributions from an inherited account may push that beneficiary, again, think adult child, into a higher tax bracket. So you, as the account owner, while you're still living, may want to help your heirs, again, think adult children. You may want to help them avoid this, and that's what I want to talk about. So given the new 10-year rule and the tax implications that it clearly creates, a lot of people have, frankly, been rethinking their estate plans, at least the portion of their estate plans that consist of retirement accounts. And so now they're considering options that might help minimize the taxes paid by their loved ones, their heirs. One option is by converting the your retirement account to a Roth IRA. You see, Roth IRA accounts, individual retirement accounts, they're retirement accounts that are funded with post-tax dollars. So, in other words, you've already paid taxes on the funds that you end up putting into the account, so you don't have to pay a second time. Once the money is in the Roth IRA, it grows tax free. So if you, let's say, put in $1,000 into a Roth IRA, you've already paid tax on that $1,000 you put into the account. But let's say that $1,000 grows to $3, 4, $5,000 in the future. That growth above $1,000 is never taxed. It's a great thing. So now, so for seniors, a lot of times this can be an attractive option because although you will have to pay tax sort of at the front end when you convert some of your traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, you're probably, if you wait to do this when you're retired, probably in a lower tax bracket rather than you were when you were in your income producing years. And what's nice about that is, again, by converting, you are passing on to your heirs a tax-free account, okay, where when they take it out of that inherited Roth account, is tax-free. Now, just a few rules to be aware of if you're thinking about this option of converting to a Roth. There is a 5-year rule, and that's important to keep in mind. So under this 5-year rule, any funds that you might take out of your Roth IRA may be subject to income tax if the Roth IRA account you set up is less than 5 years old when you make the withdrawal. So when you do this kind of planning, you should make sure that you expect to have that Roth IRA account in place for at least 5 years before you take any money out. So if you think you're going to need any money or funds from the account in the near term, then maybe a Roth conversion is not for you. Also, if you die less than 5 years after making that conversion to the Roth account, the beneficiary that you name might miss out on some favorable tax treatment. And so again, just sort of be mindful for what that future looks like, okay? So now, when generally is the best time to do a Roth conversion? Well, you talk to financial planners, and they would say there's sort of a sweet spot, a window between the time that you retire and the time you have to start taking out RMDs, because it's during this window where you're going to be in a lower tax bracket than you were when you were still working, and you have not had to start taking your required distributions yet, which are going to push you, maybe into a higher tax bracket. So you're in that window of a potentially lower bracket. So let's say you retire at 65. And if you do the conversion at 65, that window is from 65 to age 73, which is the current age under the law where you have to start taking out a required distribution. So that's maybe the time to do that conversion when you're in a lower tax bracket. One last thing, keep in mind, the original owner of the Roth IRA is not subject to RMDs for that Roth IRA account. They are with a traditional IRA. They have to start taking out required distributions, not so with a Roth. So if you are the account owner and you don't yet need to access the funds, you don't have to withdraw them. Great thing. You can bypass the RMD requirement that would have been in effect from the account that you were converting it from, that traditional. So if you'd like to know maybe a little bit more about inherited retirement accounts in particular, and how to minimize the tax consequences, and maybe want to know how we can help, we'd love to talk to you. So we invite you to schedule a free 15-minute phone call. Scheduling is very easy. If you're watching this on Facebook, just go to our website, legacyplanninglawgroup.com, click on the book your free call. A button takes you straight to our booking calendar. If you're watching this video on our YouTube channel, well, there's a sort of a blue box is popping up now. Just click on the box, takes you to the straight booking calendar. And by the way, that call, we call it our discovery call. It's a free 15-minute phone call. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd ask that you like it and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. More and more content being put up all the time. So I hope you've enjoyed this talk about inherited retirement accounts and how to minimize the tax effects on that. I'm going to give Actually, next week, I'm not going to be giving a Facebook Live talk next Thursday because I'm going to be away on vacation with my wife. Looking forward to that. But I'll be returning the following week, that last week of October. So, again, when I come back, I invite you to come back to our Thirsty Thursday talk. If you're thirsting for knowledge, we will quench your thirst. So, I'm going to sign off for now. Bill O'Leary, go make it a great day and a better world.